Hey there guys, what is going on? Gale right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And today's video, we're going to be going into training war games and seeing how the new Hero Festa Bell fares for us. Now, of course, if you guys want to enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. How are you guys using the new Hero Festa units in war games, be it familiar war games or training war games? I'm very curious to see how you guys are using Asterius and stuff, because I haven't got Asterius at MLB, so I personally can't test him out. But in my experiences, he seems like a pretty strong unit, but funnily enough, I haven't had an issue with an Asterius so far in my fights. In all honesty, whenever I've seen an Asterius, I've more or less dealt with him. That being said though, I can see the potential for him. He is an immense stall unit. I've seen him take 0 damage from a lot of units. That 105% light res is ridiculous. So I'm curious to see how you guys are handling him and how you guys are using him, because obviously I think a lot of players that I'm facing against are probably players with like maybe +3s or +4s at most. Maybe they don't have the perfect assists, right? Whereas somebody who might have the perfect assist, the perfect team, is able to extract some immense potential from him. So I'm curious to see what you guys are doing with Asterius, and if you're using Hero Festa Bell, let me know how you guys are handling him as well. Like, are you guys able to, beat him when you're facing off against him? And if you're using him, how's your win percentage? I'm curious to see. I'm very curious to see how people are using him, what teams you guys are using them in. Just generally, it's going to be a very interesting, sort of a questionnaire slash answer slash survey in the comments section. I'm very curious to see your responses down below. Now, for me personally, in training war games, I haven't had much of an issue. And I can kind of attribute that more so to the fact that not many players are participating in training war games. Usually training war games is a place for people to just test out teams and try different variations and stuff like that, because you don't really get rewards for training war games, right? Training war games is mainly there for people to just test out teams, give something for people to do, right, while familiar war games is going on, which is live right now, right? So I don't think there's many people doing training war games and not doing it appropriately with the right teams. Obviously people are testing teams out, so sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it works out. So it works in certain people's favors, sometimes it doesn't. So usually whenever I go into main war games, obviously this was before Hero Festa Bell, I usually would have like maybe 1 or 2 losses at most while I was using my passes. This time around, it's been 100% record. So I don't know if that I can attribute that to Hero Festa Bell, or I can attribute that to this being training war games. You know what I mean? So there is a little bit of that where I'm uncertain on the performance of Hero Festa Bell. And generally, I will say this as well, is in my personal opinion, like I said earlier on, Asterius has potential, but personally, whenever I've gone against Asterius, I've managed to beat him more often than not. So again, this is a situation where I'm not sure if I'm facing the proper Asteriuses or not. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use all my 10 passes, and then we might just scroll through the top ranking players, right, across Hero 1 and Hero 2, and we'll see some enemies and opponents that we can fight against who might have much stronger teams that are capable of demolishing me, potentially, to just see how they perform in a perfect scenario, right? All right, so let's continue on and let's see what we're going up against. So I've changed my team comparatively to what I normally run in war games. I've brought in Ryulu, who's now +5 for me. I've brought in Melia, who's +5 as well. This is something a little bit different. I'm curious to see how these guys perform, and generally see how these guys will handle going up against these new units and stuff, of course. So as you can see, Asterius was manhandled there. That being said though, I think that must have been a weaker Asterius, because there's no way that would have been an easy win for me otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, this is a situation where I feel like things just went in my favor because it was just easy. Again, I don't know if, again, this is not a perfect setup because the assists don't line up really well with the rest of the team. There's no cohesion in this sort of a team, right? Obviously Ryu is in the back. The Soul Recall Ryu is in the back. You've got Lily from the another Eden collaboration right there, +1 Hestia from that collab as well. So this is a team, of course, where it's not really perfect, right? And that's what I've been facing, I feel, throughout training war games, and it's not been a perfect way to judge this Hero Festa Bell. When I've used him in familiar war games, I've managed to deal with most teams very easily. But of course, there is those teams that are capable of beating me. Like, in all honesty, I don't think this team will sustain against a Magic Rush team. In all honesty, a Magic Rush team will absolutely dominate me. Or a team with an Argonaut Bell, or Argonaut Bell, sorry, Argonaut as an assist. Argonaut as an assist is ridiculously difficult to combat against because I don't have the counters to go up against that. And the moment they use that, it's just GG's for me personally. That being said, though, I will say one thing about this Hero Festa Bell is that his additional nulls that he gets on his ability, the null physical times 2, is immense. And it's one of the... I mean... Yeah, I wonder what would happen here. Oh man, you know what? Fair dues. Thank you for the free win, I suppose. That's not what I was expecting to see while I was going through training war games for the showcase. But what I was going to say was, obviously, I do believe that that null physical times 2 is immense, and it's the reason why. Obviously, if you look at the unit popularity list, I'm pretty sure Nocturnal Elf Ryu is still on top for a reason, right? She's such a strong unit. She's such a strong unit, and having her on the team is immense. It's one of the reasons why I was thinking potentially of having her on the team, you know, instead of Fianna maybe or something. Also, the reason why this team is so wonky is because I'm doing some testing of my own, right? Usually what the team I would have is I would have units like the Aphrodite from the 4th anniversary. You would see me using the for example, you'd see me using the physical res down Apollo potentially, right? Units like that. And the thing is, right now I'm not even using a good team for Bell, right? Because the thing is, Bell gets a lot more damage from having STR, critical rate, penetration rate buffs on him, right? And I don't even have that right now on him. It's something that I might consider trying to see if I can put on maybe. I don't think I have a unit that's capable of an assist that's capable of doing that. As far as I know, I don't think I have a unit like that. Of course, I might have to look across my assist slots and see again, because I couldn't find it initially when I was just scrolling through to try and see. But this isn't even perfect, because the only unit that's technically buffing him properly with, you know, being able to get the benefits of the obviously when he's special arts, right, the additional 40% per self penetration rate, strength and critical rate buff, there's nothing of that on him right now, right? So it's kind of that. But anyways, the only other place he gets it is the single target, so there's that. But it's only on his special arts. I'm not getting the pure buffs he would require for a special arts, so it's kind of that's kind of a situation. But yeah, this is a team I think we can easily beat as well. It's not really an issue. But yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see how we fare up against a Magic team. I'm curious to see if we'll see one anytime soon. I don't think I've seen one so far. But like once we face off against the team with like Elise, Althea, and some other units, right? Maybe that Bell from the 3rd anniversary, the Light Bell. I think that's going to be a bit of a concern, and that's where you will see the weaknesses of my team. But until then, like I said, these teams are pretty easy to combat. And like I said, I attribute it to this being training war games. People are just testing it out. Not a lot of players are playing it necessarily, right? I think there's a lot of that going on as well, right? All right, let's see how we do here. You know, one thing I've realized, maybe something I can try and do. I'm curious, actually. I'm thinking about it. I have some other team ideas potentially, right? This guy's kind of inspired me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm thinking of maybe using Haruhime, maybe. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think. Maybe Haruhime, Melia, Bell, and potentially Finn, to see if I can get some huge damage out, potentially. So again, this is just team ideas I'm trying to think of and see if they can maybe work in the future or not. But the thing is, you're trying to also, and the big thing about, this might be a difficult team to face off against. Festa Asterius. Let's see how this goes. But one of the things about these teams that you're trying to face is you want to try and remove their nulls as fast as possible. And a team like that doesn't do that. There's a reason why having like a lot of attackers first and foremost helps a lot, because you can just get some huge damage off immediately. But like, look at that. Asterius takes so little damage in comparison to the other units because of his light res and stuff. Obviously, a team like this, even though it had a good potential, is lacking because of yeah, I mean, the assists aren't amazing. I would say if the Hestia was +5, probably would have been stronger. Same with maybe some other assists that could have been better here. Again, that's the situation that's happening here. I'm curious to see how they'll buff that Astrea at the end we saw there. I'm very curious. If that Astrea gets null, physical, and magic times 2, a lot of people are going to summon on her banner. 100%. 100%. And I'm going to be one of them. I'm going to be one of them. I'm definitely going to be summoning on that banner when it does drop. But yeah, again, like I said, this is just Record Buster, not Record Buster, I mean Training War Games. It's not the perfect scenario for me, personally, in my personal opinion, for a showcase, in all honesty. But this was just to see if he could face off against a team and see the capabilities of this unit. But so far, I'm just sweeping through most teams, in all honesty. It's kind of ridiculous, to be quite honest. But the thing is, this sort of a team works purely because I've got Melia and obviously Helga being able to remove the nulls as fast as possible. And then on turn 2, of course, we'll have everybody doing like in total like 6 attacks in total, of course, with the additional actions and stuff, right? So that also helps a lot, of course. But yeah, I definitely am feeling like I'm missing like a lot of top tier assists, right? It's the reason why I wish I had a unit like maybe Alf in the team still and stuff like that, but it is what it is. This is just a great way for me to just see how the team is operating. You know what I might do, actually? I have an idea. I'm gonna change one thing in my assists. I'm gonna change one slight thing. Let me bring back Alf. 1 second. Let me bring back Alf and remove you for you, maybe. I think that'll be a little bit better personally, because Alf at least gives the STR plus agility, and he gives allies agility and critical rate. So this will actually help us a little bit more, I feel. Being able to get the agility and also the critical rate across the board, which is a better option, in all honesty. We're anyways getting the STR boost as well from the Apollo as well, so there's that as well. Alright, let's see how this goes. I'm curious. Okay, Indomitable Sword. And then, of course, Olaf is also giving us the minus STR magic on his counter ability, which is fantastic as well. Alright, so Helga's down. We're going to see Bell attack here off the charts. Whew. Man, this Hero Festa Bell is ridiculously strong, man. No matter what anybody says, he's immensely strong. And the fact is, he does counter Astreus. Even though Astreus does have that light res, the ability to get those additional stats points is very, very nice nonetheless, especially if you can penetrate through his light res at some point in life. It's one of the reasons why I was considering maybe bringing in Finn potentially over Helga, maybe just because of course he gives that light res, right? It's always nice to have, and then if Helga comes back from the back, she can reapply the agility debuff and stuff like that. Okay, this is an easy team. I saw the levels and I'm just saying like this is gonna be easy. It's nothing to stress about, in all honesty. It's nothing to stress about. We don't have to worry too much, honestly. But like I said, this unit is, in my personal opinion, I think Bell is very, very strong. I don't know if I can. I mean, he is kind of broken at the end of the day, because of how good he can be in other game modes. If you guys have seen any of my Grand War videos, which you guys can go check out, he's performed immensely there, and also just generally as well. Like if you look at Record Buster, he'll perform exceptionally there as well, in my personal opinion. And just generally, he's done such a good job in being such a good unit to have for any team, in all honesty. It's so good. So to me personally, I think that he is a must-have, in all honesty, at this point in time. Of course, it also depends on just your ability to get him, of course, depending on the gacha luck. But I think he's just so good. So let's have a look, see at some different teams. I'm going to go from top to bottom. Maybe we'll face the number 1 player right now in the rankings, then we'll go to number 10, number 25, and then number 50. Let's do that. I think that'll be a neat way of getting all players and seeing different teams that we can combat against. So this is a very interesting team. Of course, you've got Artie for that unbelievable ability of making sure they don't KO. Fianna is there for the immense damage, and then of course Galma is there to help. Galmus and Fel is there to just increase the stall abilities of this team. You know, it's very immense. I want to see how this goes. So there's a lot of debuffs happening there, of course, but we got the barrier there. Fianna is gonna hit hard here, unless we can get her out of the way immediately, but no, it's not gonna happen. Ooh, that's a lot of damage there. That is a lot of damage there. And then of course Galmus comes in. Let's see, I'm curious as to how this is gonna go. Okay, so the heals are coming in, of course. We got the stun off. At least we got the stun off on one of the units. Let's see how much damage. If we can get Fianna out of here, nah. This is a classic stall team, by the way. This is exactly what happens if we run the stall team. But we do have an SA coming up. I'm very curious as to what's gonna happen here. Bell's launching the SA. Good thing we had the oh, okay, this is interesting. Okay, ooh, wow. I'm impressed that okay. Oh, I mean, we got an essay coming up here. This is gonna be very interesting. This is a very interesting fight. I'm hiding the face of my units. Okay, there we go. I was saying I'm hiding the face of my units. My face is hiding the units HP on my team. But damn, that was very impressive. I'm astounded that I came close even. Obviously, a stall team is... I hate stall teams. I hate facing stall teams, and you kind of have to use the right units to penetrate through them. In all honesty, maybe if I had a assist that gave penetration rate as well, potentially, right? We might have been able to beat that team. Maybe. Who knows? But I think that was a fair result, man. That was a fair result. I'm impressed by... I'm sort of impressed, I must admit. Okay, Mako is number 10, of course, because, of course, they don't do it properly. Okay, never mind. We'll go and see another team. The fact that Asterius is, like, just there, it's insane. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. So this is, of course, a more modern iteration of a stall team, I would say. Of course, Sunj here is going for Fells, of course, instead of Asterius. This is going to be a tester because, like I've said, I've only faced Astriuses that are arguably on the weaker side purely because of the assist slots and such. This is going to be a proper test of seeing a proper Asterius and seeing how good they can be. Of course, with Galmus's resistant, damage reduction and stuff like that, I'm expecting no damage to be taken by Asterius. Honestly, no damage whatsoever. We're gonna get our rears whooped, in all honesty. I 100% believe that. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting this, low-key. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we're taking some damage there. Whoa. Wasn't expecting that, in all honesty. Let's see. Okay, Soul Recall. This is not good because she's basically removed all avenues of our attack. Okay, let's see. Inspiring Courage, that's fine. Oh, if I only had... I just realized if I only had my essay. Let's see. Okay, so it's Asterius versus Bell. And we're both using our special arts here. This is going to be very interesting. Wow. I'm impressed that I managed to beat that. I wasn't expecting a win there. That was interesting. This is the reason why I suggested maybe Asterius is... very interesting. That's very interesting. I'm not fearful of Asterius. Honestly, I think with that fight, I think that's even more of a reason why I say that I'm not that scared of Asterius. I genuinely am not that scared of Asterius. Now, let me see this fight. Wait, this is a single target team. What? Wait, why has he got his Wreck and Buster team here? This is a Wreck and Buster team. What are you doing? No, I'm not fighting this. No way. You know what? For the funsies, I said I'm gonna go up against the 25th place player. Let's go up against it. Let's see. I'm curious if a single target team beats my team. That'll be very funny. In all honesty, that'll be very, very funny. But no, like I said, I'm very. It just goes to show, in my personal opinion, like I said at the start of this video, I don't have a reason to fear Asterius. I really don't. I genuinely do not have a reason to fear Asterius. I personally have zero fear because I don't know. I just feel like, especially with that sort of a situation, we're just absolutely demolishing it. And I want to try some other teams as well, for sure, right? I want to try some different teams. Okay, this is a very interesting team. This was a team I was suggesting. Instead of taking Helga, because obviously Bell already gives the P-res down on the second turn, why not go for maybe like Finn to give us the light res down as well, potentially, right? So this is something I was saying, like maybe we could run instead of the Fianna, but again, this is just us seeing how it goes. So this is a good way to test it out. Two teams, very similar what's it called, foundations, just slightly different methods, I would say, of building teams, I guess. is the best way to put it, of course. So I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this team rocks. But like I said, I think that okay, there we go. There's the death. But like I said, this is a very interesting setup, basically, because yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I want Argonaut so much, man. I really want Argonaut so badly, but I don't have him. It's so annoying. I really wish I had him. I really do. I really did. But I guess I don't need him necessarily. I think if I had Argonaut, that would be like the last piece of my puzzle, in all honesty. That would be so definitely the last piece of my puzzle. But there you guys go. Very interesting. I'm feeling more confident with this team the more days go on. And I guess that also kind of answers my question regarding Finn versus Helga. Maybe. I guess it's also additionally so helpful to have like a unit that can attack turn 1 and, you know, give us that extra, you know, yard maybe, right? In terms of breaking through the null physicals and stuff. But yeah, either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about the units themselves. Do you guys fear Asterius if you're using Bell, or do you still fear Asterius nonetheless? Let me know in the comments, of course. And if you are an Asterius user, how are you guys faring it? Because I feel like if you've been using Asterius and you're going as an offensive player, it's different than being a defensive player. You know what I mean? Like, of course, there's two sides to it. You know, maybe you can make some changes, make some cleanups before you go into the next fight. So I'm curious to see how the offensive players are finding Asterius more, so like when you're initiating the combat. Curious to see what you guys have to say down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And once again, one more thing as well before I wrap up. Thank you guys so much for letting me reach 600 subscribers. I appreciate it a lot. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Maybe not at the end of the year, but maybe in the future. Maybe at the end of January. Who knows? Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. I've got some ideas as well with the next season of Danmachi coming up. So be on the lookout for the YouTube videos. Be on the lookout for the YouTube videos. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.